20, verse 13, and to the Small Catechism, where Luther asks the question, what is the fourth commandment?
Honor your father and your mother.
And what does this mean?
We should fear and love God, so that we do not despise like they are our parents and other authorities, but honor them, serve and obey them, love and cherish them.
So, honor your father and your mother. The favorite commandment of all parents. The one that condemns most children. It's the first commandment, Scripture tells us, with a promise. As the text tells us, it's not just what's in the catechism anymore. In the old days, you used to have the whole commandment. It said, honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. What does this promise really mean? Why is there long life attached to honoring your father and your mother? Well, first, if you dishonored your father and your mother in those days, it might just be a capital offense. They might kill you. They still do those honor killings in the Middle East in some places. We think of the prodigal son, who really was telling his father, I wish you were dead. If the father had disowned him, he may very well have died out there in a foreign land, or even in his homeland, not being able to receive any sustenance. What the dishonor of parents meant was the rebellion of the order of society. It was hatred of parents and neighbors, contempt of authority, and ultimately contempt of God. This commandment does, in fact, condemn us, you and I, because of this very sin. This is like every other commandment, a sin against the first commandment, the anger and hatred of God, and the order that He has placed over us. When we disobey our rightful authorities, mother and father when we're young, and those God's placed over us, we are disobeying God. It's the order He has placed above us. Luther reminds us that we owe them our duty. We don't want to think about it, but even in small breaches, we don't want to think about it, but even these small breaches are defiant, first raised in the face not only of the law, but then in the very face of God. We raise our fist in defiance at God. If God was going to have victory, He had to do something about the trajectory of our rebellion and the path that it has placed us on. Lest like the prodigal, we wind up destitute and possibly dead, lying with pigs. God saw man wallowing in sin with the pigs, and He came to our defense. He came as a man. He died. He came and gave His life as if He were the sinner for you and for me. Because while we dishonored Him, He loved us. His entire plan was to make of the rebellious haters of all children, sons, and daughters of the living God. People who would love God, serve Him, and serve their neighbor. By His death, He has put to death in us that old hater in us, and brought to life a new person in us. Through baptism, you and I, as undeserving as we are, have, like that prodigal son, had a ring put on our finger and a feast laid before us. God came running to our defense. God left his throne and came to seek that which was lost. For you, dear sons and daughters of God, were once dead to God, haters of all that he made and all that he is. But now he has made you alive in faith in Jesus forever. Amen.